There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Who grew up tall and proud in the shadow of the mushroom cloud? Which now voices can't be heard. Just want to scream it louder and louder and louder. What the hell we fighting for?
Yeah, truth, justice, and what used to be that American way thing. And it's hopefully, I would imagine that as time goes on, it'll start to be more associated with the things that Dr. Paul has to say. That is the big benefit. It's going to be an education process. We just saw the capacity for an entire generation next to be able to even understand and demonstrate they want to understand what's really going on. The rest of this segment, I want to just do a quick rundown on just some of the headlines on Freedom's Phoenix, because it's amazing. I just go over the weekend, I'm just wow, I mean, is it that bad? And I don't want to focus on so much this stuff, because you can go to Freedom's Phoenix, go to Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com, boom, there it is, all detailed. I'll just give you some of the headlines. One of the top ones is a article by Dr. Paul where he's talking about how much freedom do we have? We can't even drink unpasteurized milk. I don't have the freedom. Okay, well, sometimes that's just the way it works. Now, we also have a lot of information on, and certainly more that's coming on our visit to gardenpool.org. Now, if you go to today's archive, they have all the links to a lot of the videos that we've already done and the interviews that we have with them. This is very cool, because I don't know something more impactful than being able to have a closed system by which you can supply the food needs of 4 people in a small area in your backyard the size of a pool. So I'm going, wow. And I got 2 acres. So, I mean, damn. Now, what a lot of people don't know also is that they've been contacted by producers of cable shows that want to feature them as going into, it's like, extreme backyard pool makeover, So there's a lot of possibilities they have, certainly as things start getting more expensive. When you got $3, $4 bell peppers, I'm like, holy moly. So all of a sudden, I'm more concerned about whatever it was eating the leaves on my peppers out here on the side of the yard. And let's go into some of the other stories. Army birther Lakin released from Leavenworth. Terry Lakin is a leader among the fringe birther group and a controversial Maryland Army doctor who was just released from prison. He was released Friday after serving 5 months of a 6-month sentence for refusing to go to Afghanistan because he was saying, hey, man, Obama, as far as I'm concerned, is not even eligible to be president. Show me your illustrator layered birth certificate. So I don't know where that's going. If you're interested, there it is. I just can't muster up enough give a crap. Okay, I got to share this with you, all this birther stuff. I get tons of email. I'll bet you I probably get a dozen a day. Okay, to me personally, as publisher, birther this, birth certificate that, this, fine. Some of the stuff that's more interesting, or the Osama thing, and invasion. There's a lot of good stuff out there and articles I thought was interesting. But, a lot of it is just, it still presupposes that assuming he was born here, or not, I don't care. He's still not my ruler either way. Do you think all of a sudden Obama becomes my boss, my ruler, my God, my king, my whatever, because he had the right piece of paper given by the state of Hawaii? I mean, seriously, that's all it takes is a legitimate piece of paper by another government agency, and all of a sudden this guy can rule you now? And I can't even get past the, me caring whether it was legitimate or not. I mean, they go, yeah, but they're being unconstitutional. I go, when were they ever constitutional? I'm so far past caring what I just wanted to stay out of the way, and educate as many people as possible. Just how to survive this thing. They're going to fall of their own weight. And it's great that you have someone like Dr. Paula out there articulating why. I just want people to understand why, so we don't keep doing it over and over. The accumulation of this information. It's another thing on Freedom's Phoenix. I may have scrolled off the front page already. We have what's called page 2. Up in the navigator bar up at the top, it says page 2. Now, what it is this stuff rolls down. We have 130,000 or more articles that just, in chronological order there. So it's probably on page 2. And it had this weekend the College Conspiracy by NIA, the National Inflation Association, or whatever the heck it is. They keep doing these little documentaries and movies and so on, do a great job. And the one that I watched this weekend, as we're traveling out to East Mesa to go see the garden pool and coming back, Barry and I are, sitting there with our earphones in, listening to this thing while the girls are yakking, and finally we got to finish the whole thing, and that's over an hour. And what it was about is this college tuition bubble. It's just, they just inflated it and put it in. Everybody's all making money. It's how they overcharge for textbooks and how they try to make the used ones obsolete so you can't reuse them, and how they keep amping up tuition prices, and how the quality education sucks, and how you're left with all this debt afterwards, and how they're and of course you can't declare bankruptcy anymore and wipe it, because now they said, oh, I'm sorry, you can't discharge student loans. And if you have any entitlement to government largesse, you get hurt, you get Social Security, or you get Medicaid or whatever. Nope, you can't, because you got to pay off your loan first. So these young people intentionally are graduating college with a piece of paper along with a bunch of other people, so there's no distinction in that it means anything. No experience, didn't make any money while they were in school, with an enormous debt. And it's going to crash on itself. It is now, college tuition debt is more than credit card debt now. I didn't even think that'd be possible. Here we are. So these are just pieces, just small parts of what you're just not ever going to get away from as society collapses. So I'm just, what's next? I don't know. Something to be aware of. Then you have this IMF chief guy, it says, police said a 32-year-old cleaning woman accused Mr. Strauss-Kahn of sexually assaulting her in the Sofitel Hotel near Times Square. The alleged victim, a native of Guinea and mother of 2, said she entered the room 2806, a $3,000 a night luxury suite, blah, blah, blah. And the story is he sodomized her, and he gets arrested at the airport on his way to France. So again, and this guy, he's there, not there, I'm supposed to care either way. Of course, if he's guilty, go get him, but the thing is that the stock, it was all CNBC this morning. That's all they cared about. Is it, how is this going to affect, seriously, one guy is convicted of this crime or accused of this crime, arrested for this crime? You want to know how many other crimes I got for these guys? Wow, it's like the blue dress, while they're bombing the crap out of Iraq with cruise missiles the whole time during the Clinton administration. So I'm just, what their perspective on this stuff of why these guys matter. Then you have, let me just pick out some of the other good ones here. Catastrophic picture emerges of Syrian town. Carrying mattresses and bags of clothing, Syrians flee their homeland, described a catastrophic scene in a besieged border town that has been largely sealed off as the army tries to crush a 2-month uprising. And then it talks about how many people got killed and so on. Syria is the next, here we go. And they're trying to make, it was amazing, excuse me, it was amazing how little it took for us going into Libya. I was like, wow. This weekend we were talking about it, and it really came down to the only thing that we could really, I felt comfortable with repeating was, because Gaddafi over the last decade has been doing his best to try and get the African Union, together, and to agree to go to a gold-based currency. If you had the African continent going on a gold-based dinar, somebody might not like that. Well, they did. To the point, man, here come the aircraft carriers. At the same time, you have China investing in all kinds of business dealings in Libya. They had like 50,000 citizens. They had to get out and bring ships. I think they brought in a missile cruiser also to come in, protect a ship to take off 50,000 of their citizens going through the U.S. Navy blockade, kind of whatever. So I'm going, do we want to go to war with China? And what does China want to do? They're just going to sit on the sidelines and watch us overextend the empire, and they get to pick up the pieces for cheaper later. It looks like Eastern Libya may fall into the hands of Western empires already. Gaddafi's just sitting there still tweaking his nose at everybody, and they just don't like it. We'll see what happens, but I know this whole collapsing of the dollar is going to change everything. So tomorrow we're going to have Miss Shedlock come on, talk about it, and we'll see what he has to say, because I need to understand it more, as do we all. We'll see you tomorrow. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.